Let's see. All righty. Ladies and gentlemen, it's DJ Andy.
Good evening.
Good evening. How are you?
Yeah, not bad, mate. You?
I'm doing very, very well, my friend. Are you just audio or are you on video?
Say again, sorry?
I said, are you just on audio or are you also on video? I'm not seeing your video image.
No, just audio tonight.
Oh, okay.
I don't look very sexy to go on
Oh,
camera.
damn. See, I think you're being modest. You're a very sexy guy, Andy. Come on. We need to see it. The class needs to see it. They need to see all that sexiness.
No, I'm very tired.
Oh, okay. No problem.
I'm ringing up basically to tell you about Halloween and how we celebrate.
Oh, very cool. Thank you for that, Andy. Very, very cool, because I know there's got to be some differences, obviously, but I'll bet there's some similarities. And because I know a lot of the stuff that we, again, like I mentioned earlier, stuff that we do on Halloween over here has been influenced by what you do over there. So
yeah.
So tell me about it.
It's definitely more an American thing.
Okay.
But over the last, I would say, 5 years, we've gone very big into it.
Okay.
And we celebrate it quite massively now.
Oh, okay. Oh, yeah.
We still don't go into it as much as what you Americans do. But we're not that far behind now.
Right.
We sort of, we get the old traditional pumpkins out. We light the candle. We make the pumpkin scenario.
Mm-hmm.
We sort of dress up. We go around saying trick or treat. Normally 9 times out of 10, if somebody comes knocking at my door, mister, it doesn't get answered.
Okay.
I absolutely hate Halloween with passion.
Interesting. Now, see, you're making me talk about something that I was going to say for later, but I'm gonna mention it now since you brought it up. I ain't that crazy about Halloween either.
Really? That surprises me.
I'll tell you, because first of all, I have to qualify that statement. I'm not. As an active participant, as a kid who goes out and gets candy, knocks on people's doors and stuff, that was fun as a kid until it got dangerous. But as an adult, like when I was working in advertising, there was always somebody who invited me to a costume party. And
right.
I just thought costumes were for kids. I did not put on costumes as an adult. I'm not going to dress up in some tight leotard and say, I'm Spider-Man. That's just not going to work, okay? Because you see all those lumps and bumps, and they're not the pretty lumps and bumps that, a guy in a tight outfit, I'm not going to look like, say, Usain Bolt in a tight leotard, okay? It's just not going to happen. So
I can imagine you dressed up, mister. I really can.
Oh, see, people say that. That's what I used to hear. Like, oh, Juan, come on. You'd probably look great in a costume as such and such or this and that. And I'm like, no, not really. But yeah, I never felt, after childhood, it's like getting in a costume was the last thing I could possibly think of doing. And yet there was always somebody who had a costume party. Yo, dude, you're coming to the costume party this year? It's at Beth's house. Beth and Jean, they put together a great spread. They have the great music and stuff. And it's all cool. And everybody gets dressed up and we'll have a great time. I don't think so. I got to wash my cat. I was looking for some kind of an excuse. And finally they got on. They figured it out after a few years. It's like, okay, Juan's not going to come to the costume party. We'll invite him anyway, but let's see what kind of clever excuse he comes up with for avoiding it. And it became kind of a game after a while. But the one thing I still liked about Halloween was that for like the first few years when I was back in Chicago, I lived with my mother in her apartment on the north side of Chicago. And in the apartment building, the kids would come, through the apartments on each floor. They would, come up and they knock on all the doors and everything for trick or treat. I love to be the person passing out the candy to the kids because I love seeing the kids in the costumes. I thought that was the cutest, coolest, funnest thing, and so from that standpoint, I still enjoy it. But as far as like putting on costumes and going out and like, having a few too many, and then you're driving home, you shouldn't be driving while you're drinking, and then the cops pull you over and you're dressed like Elvira, and like, excuse me, son. I see you were. Oh my God, what the hell are you wearing, fella? Yeah, see that's just not my thing. Okay. I don't have the boobs to be Elvira. Frankly, I couldn't pull it off. And Brandon stopped dressing up himself years ago. Wait, who dresses you, Brandon? Ba-dum-bump. Wait, you have your mom dressing you now, Brandon? Okay, Brandon, this is what you'll be wearing to work today. That's a terrible impression, Debbie. Forgive me. I'm sorry. Oh, geez, that's just too good. There on a call, used to do trick-or-treating back there and dress up as a day. It's mostly school discos and house parties now, I think. Halloween. Yeah, okay. So you did go trick-or-treating when you were a kid, though, McTom. That's pretty interesting. Okay. Yeah.
See, there I differ. I did not, when I was a kid, I did not do any trick-or-treating whatsoever.
Okay. Was it a thing to do when you were a kid and you just didn't participate?
Just was, our family wasn't into it and still isn't into it, really.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah.
So,
yeah, mine was. Yeah.
All our family are all like, when Halloween's on, we are not answering the door.
So this is a family tradition.
Yeah.
So you're like, knock, 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 knock. Don't answer the door. It's the kids. It's the damn trick-or-treaters. Turn the lights off. Hide under the furniture. Sorry for the accent. I know it sucks.
But no, we have a thing over here in the UK. I think you probably still have it over in America, where we have a thing called Bonfire Night. I
think I might have heard about that, but tell me, because I've heard the term, but I don't know exactly what it involves.
Right. So on November the 5th,
okay,
we have a thing called Bonfire Night.
Mm-hmm.
And basically, it was all to do with a person called Guy Fawkes who blew up the house. Well, was meant to be blown up.
Okay, so it's related to Guy Fawkes. Okay, all right.
But never did. But we sort of like celebrate the fact that he didn't or was trying to do it.
Right. Yeah.
And we celebrate that a lot more than what we do with Halloween.
Bonfire Night. Okay. Isn't that also called, or unless there's another day, isn't it also called Guy Fawkes Day? It's the same thing. Yeah, because I've heard of Guy Fawkes Day, but not Bonfire Night. Okay. So, but it's really okay. Gotcha. Yeah, because
we tend to sort of go out, buy a box of fireworks, buy a box of rockets, buy a box of sparklers, and we celebrate it big style.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah, that's
we there are some sort of proper firework displays that are sort of dotted around the UK that you can go to, and. Mm-hmm. But it's always best to sort of do it yourself, because sometimes the rockets can go the wrong way and go right around the garden instead of going up in the sky.
Yeah, that could be a problem. A big problem.
Yeah, or the backyard, as you guys like to call it.
Right, yeah.
And that's happened a few times where the wind knocks down the rocket and it's gone skew with all around the backyard.
Ah, all right, yeah. Now, in Mexico, they do, on November 1st, they do Dia de la Muerte, or Day of the Dead, which I think in Mexico, and I think they might do it in other Latin American countries, I'm not sure. I think that's an even bigger deal in Mexico than Halloween is. So I think Halloween is kind of, as far as like going overboard with the celebration, I think it must be more American than anything, although you do some things. But I mean, here it's been like an overboard kind of thing for a long time, although it's changed because of the danger, that's, kids can't just go and trick or treat openly and freely like the way they used to. Which is too bad, because I still remember, and I think I might've told this story recently, but there was one night I was driving home from work. I was living out here, actually up in Oceanside, which is about a half hour north of here. And I noticed a bunch of kids, this was on Halloween, and I noticed a bunch of kids about on the next block over. I thought, oh my God, I don't have any candy. So I turned around and drove back to a nearby Walmart store and bought up all the candy that they had left. And it wasn't much, mind you, but, and it was all the reject candy, the stuff I was talking about. I like to eat, but the kids don't care for it. It's like, the little candy corn things and stuff like that. And, I swear there was some marshmallow peeps from Easter left over. It's like, well, I'll take them. What the hell? That's all you got left. I'll take them. So I buy probably at least $20, $30 worth of candy, brought it home, and the kids never came around to my block. So I had all this leftover candy, and the next day, which happened to be November 1st, and there was a Mexican family that lived across the way from where I lived, and they were having a birthday party / Day of the Dead party for their son who turned 11 years old. So I took the candy over there, asked the mom if she wanted it because nobody showed up for Halloween. I wasn't going to eat the candy myself. So they took it and they were very gracious and they appreciated it. They actually sent me over a huge plate of food, homemade stuff that was like dinner for a week. But other than that, I have not had any like direct encounter with kids on Halloween since I've been out here, because they don't do the trick or treating. There's usually some kind of like neighborhood parties that are put together, like in a park or something, or put on by the city, and so that I forget what they call them. It's like there's a term they use for those parties, and it's escaping me, but it's something that has come to replace the traditional trick or treating patrols that kids would go on with their parents.
Yeah. So there you go. That's why I rang up, just basically to tell you about Halloween, unless you want to talk about anything else.